Are you tired of setting goals every year only to see them fade away by February? Does it feel like you are stuck in a loop of good intentions but no real progress? Let's change that today. If you're someone like me, then you are highly motivated in the beginning of the year, and as the year passes by and life takes over, you find that not only you haven't met most of your goals, but you have forgotten what those goals were in the first place, which is devastating. In this video, I'm sharing with you a new way of setting goals, which I am in the process of implementing for myself and is based on several great growth mindset books and podcasts that I have listened to over the years. So what I've realized is that I make this one mistake every year, which I will not be repeating this year, which is usually I set goals without much of an in-depth introspection and self-reflection. And that's where goal setting should actually begin. I also don't track my progress and my lessons through the year, which makes it hard to motivate myself as I can't visually see my progress. Additionally, I also have been quite high level in my goal setting, as in I will set goals without much detail around it. As a hypothetical example, just an example, if I set a goal to have abs by the end of the year, I never state how am I going to do that, how am I going to work on it, and actually why do I need those abs in the first place. So based on my lessons from past year, here is the new 7-step goal setting framework that I'm applying this year. And yes, it is a bit of a work and it needs dedication and commitment, but I am so sure that it will really be worth the time and energy, and it's going to save me from some heartache down the track. And I would love to share this with you all today. So without much further ado, let's get into it. So step 1. This is where we start, and if you have been listening closely so far, then you would be able to guess that this first step is going to be self-reflection. So this year I've been really pausing to reflect on the past year and thinking deeply about how it all went. What are some of the things that I feel I was successful at? What are some of the things that I missed the mark on? And I haven't managed to get those abs yet. Why not? And what can I change in the coming year to change that outcome for myself? Step number 2, and this is so important. I simply can't emphasize this enough. This step is documentation, or you may call it journaling. What I mean by this is every goal that I set, I need to write it down in my journal or in an app that I find, so that I can see every day and be reminded of it with all the details as to why this goal was important to me and how am I going to make it happen. Without writing things down, we can verbally say and mentally think any amount of things, but they may not become a reality. And just like what happened in my case, usually I forget those goals by the time June turns up. Step number 3. And this is linked to step 2, but it's one step forward, and it's tracking progress. Geez, this is so important, whether it's in your journal or a whiteboard or app, whatever, please track your progress. This is something that I've seen works really well with my kids. When I set up their weekly tasks and they are able to tick them off on a fridge magnet, I can tell you there is no bigger motivator than that. Seeing your own track record of success and progress, even if it's bit by bit, slowly, in your own time, it can be a game changer. Step number 4. What is going to be your reward system this year? How are you going to incentivize yourself when you see yourself making those progress? When you hit those tiny milestones, how are you going to reward yourself for that? So if I take an example of my kids, we do something we call 10-day fun day exercise, which is during school holidays, I give them a list of 10-day activities that they need to perform. And if they did those activities throughout those 10 days, then by the end of the 10 days, they can get a reward that they choose. Step number 5, find a buddy. Who is that person in your life that can keep you honest and can keep you in line? Make sure that you're keeping the promise and commitment that you've made for yourself. It can be a family member, a friend, a co-worker, a coach, someone who can check in with you to make sure you're heading in the right direction, and someone with no hidden agenda. Step number 6, environment design. This one is probably the hardest, especially if you are a busy parent and your house, no matter what you do, ends up in a chaos. But where we live and the atmosphere around us, where we sit, where we work, can make a big difference. So if I'm surrounded by clutter and overload of things, then it's going to take all of my mental capacity and blurry the thought process. Also, if I say that I want those abs, and when it's time to go to the gym, if I can't find my gym clothes in a busy wardrobe, or I struggle to find those car keys, then it's going to create friction and give me an excuse not to go. So we need to make sure our environment is built in a way that it makes life easier and reduces the friction and doesn't make things harder for us. And finally, step number 7, and this is so critical and it's a killer one. Wait till you hear it. Step 7 is communicate. I have to say that over the years, I have not been communicating my goals clearly with my people, my friends and family. If your friends and family, your support system around you don't know what you're aiming for, then how are they going to support you? And how are they going to stop themselves from becoming an unintentional roadblock for you? So if you're aiming to write a book, for example, let your family know that you need an hour each evening to focus on your writing. This will also avoid you becoming the victim down the track and blaming your family for not meeting your goals. How could they support you if you never clearly communicated with them your why and your how? So that's it. That's the end of my lecture, aka the 7-step goal setting framework that I've come up with. You can find this framework documented on my website, giddyupmate.com, and also download a worksheet that will help you put these steps in practice super quickly. Share your thoughts with me. Thanks so much for watching. Until we meet again, Giddy Up Mate, keep working towards goals. Bye for now.